a steaming August night at Fenway, the Red Sox can sweep the season series from Miami. It may not have been pretty last night, but the Red Sox grabbed game one and turned to David Price to make it 2 in a row. Hi, everybody. Thanks so much for joining us at Fenway tonight. I'm Dave O'Brien. My partner, Steve Lyons, Garen Austin in just a couple of moments as well. David Price on the mound tonight, and he's been excellent for a long time, but truly electric since the All-Star break. He's been pretty amazing.
The numbers jump off the page. And when you think about it, they brought him here for the 2016 season to be the ace of this pitching staff, and right now he is every bit of that ace. I mean, the way he has his fastball command is unbelievable. His changeup has been devastating. He's virtually unhittable when he hits his spots, and that's all he's doing is hitting his spot time and time again.
Now you look at what he has done now over his last 18 starts. The Red Sox are what, 16-2, just ridiculous. 4-0 since the All-Star break with an ERA of 1.09. That's the second lowest in the American League. It's the third lowest in Major League Baseball. The right man on the mound here tonight for the Red Sox, who are trying to bolster their lead over the Yankees to 7.5 games and about to take to the road again. So this is the end of the homestand with Price on the hill trying to get to 7.5 over the Yankees. Game number 2, Red Sox and the Marlins, coming your way in just a moment. Toyota's official website for deals, buyatoyota.com. Dunkin' Donuts, America runs on Dunkin'. Amica Insurance, auto, home, and life insurance that always puts you first. Kenyon Grill, shop the Labor Day sale for an additional 10% off City Grills with code NESSN. The all-new Subaru Ascent, love is now bigger than ever this summer. And by Southwest Airlines, low fares, no hidden fees, that's transparency. Hot summer night, late summer, 94 degrees inside the ballpark as the Red Sox take to the field, looking to make it 2 consecutive wins and actually attempting to sweep the season series against the Marlins, which the Red Sox have never done in their history. Here's a look at the Marlin lineup that Price will take on tonight. Rafael Ortega will lead it off in right field. Brian Anderson at third. JT Realmuto is the catcher and batting out of the 3 spot. Starlin Castro, the cleanup man, at second. Derek Dietrich, the DH, with Austin Dean in left. Miguel Rojas at first base. JT Riddle, who committed that error last night, at shortstop batting 8th. And Isaac Galloway is in center. And the number 9 hitter against the Red Sox starter, presented by New England Audi Dealers, David Price, who has not lost since the 1st of July. He is 14-6.
His stuff has been amazing. Look at the defense setting up behind him. It looks familiar. Nunez at third. Xander Bogaerts plays shorts tonight. Kinsler at second. Steve Pearce over at first base, and in the outfield, Benintendi, Bradley Jr. and Betts from left to right. Sandy Leon is going to be catching one of the hottest pitchers in baseball right now, David Price.
The umps are brought to you by Toyota's website for deals, buyatoyota.com. Scott Barry behind the plate, Carlos Torres, Nick Lentz, and Paul Nart on the bases. We're available as telecast can be heard in Spanish by selecting the SAP button on your TV remote. SAP presented by Toyota. Visit compra2toyota.com to see Toyota deals not seen on TV. Right now 92 degrees, partly cloudy skies. It's been a hot one last couple of nights. Very, very warm. We are headed to Chicago and then Atlanta, at least the Chicago leg. It's supposed to be considerably cooler than here. When we come back, it's going to be the early days of September.
It was toasty warm earlier, but it's kind of easing into a nice night now.
And Price ready to go, taking on Ortega. A slightly earlier start by about a half hour from last night. Both teams are traveling after the ball game. Marlins are headed home. And a 1-0 from the left-hander.
Well, you better swing at that pitch right there, because that's going to be the best one you're going to see all night from David Price. The way his command has been lately.
And a 1-1 ground ball to Kinsler. 1 up and 1 down. What a wild one last night. The Red Sox able to win it in the end on a throwing error. Red Sox bullpen had all sorts of issues. Craig Kimbrell, who's been scuffling by his own admission, a 5.56 ERA in the month of August. He's walked 9 men. He was asked after the ball game, has the bullpen been spotty? And he said it has been. There's no denying that. He said we can all see it, but the Red Sox have been able to step up and keep on winning through it. But he said going forward they have to figure that out. He believes, he's very confident that they will figure it out. But last night, here's how it ended.
Watching Nunez hustle down the line, not necessarily because he thinks he's going to get a base hit. He's just trying to make sure that they don't double him off. Here comes Steve or JD in to score right there. But that was excellent hustle down the line by Nunez. Forced a bad throw.
Swung on and missed. Well, it was a bad throw. It was an 80-foot throw. And Riddle said after the game it's an easy play. You step on the bag, you throw it 90 feet. He said I threw it 80. He didn't give anyone else any other credit, but I think Nunez speeding up that line had at least a little something to do with it.
Speed always makes an infielder hurry what he has to do.
That's going to be in there for strike 3. He sits down Anderson. 2 fast outs here in the first inning.
Watch the pinpoint control, outer half on the black, nasty. Anderson knew it as soon as he didn't swing at it.
Price has not allowed more than 2 runs in any of his last 6 starts. And the other thing about how Price is performing is he's not walking anybody, so he's not giving you any chance to build a big inning.
Because he just throws strike after strike after strike right now, and so many of the pitches that these hitters are seeing aren't good pitches to swing at. They're strikes, but they're pitcher strikes. You don't want to swing at any of the pitches that they've seen so far tonight.
And one final thought on what Craig Kimbrell was saying, because he really stepped up and made some very intelligent comments after the game moving forward and toward October about what the Red Sox need to improve on. He said, this is the team we are going to make a run with. He said, I had a very good feeling that we're going to figure it out. But that bullpen is right now the primary area of concern.
They are struggling a little bit right now, but it happens to every team. We talked about it offensively too.
Line shot. Bogarts can't quite get to that, and that'll be a base hit for Real Muto. He's on with 2 down.
We've watched this team struggle offensively over the last 2 weeks or so. Same thing coinciding with the pitching staff not pitching as effectively as they had. Happens. Caught a little bit more of the plate with it. Realmuto right there, bogey just off the fingertips. He tried to get up as high as he could.
Starlin Castro to step in, 284 with 11 home runs. Castro with a blast last night in that 8th inning as they went back-to-back off of Matt Barnes, and that was a shocker. Red Sox had what appeared to be a comfortable 4-1 lead, and that evaporated very quickly with the home runs. And Jackie Bradley talked about it later. He said, you know, it's not an ugly win to me. Any win's a beautiful win.
You remember Alex Cora earlier in the season said winning Major League Baseball games is really difficult to do. It doesn't matter how it gets done.
That's right. You don't get style points.
No. This team has been getting tons of style points all season long. They didn't need them last night.
Popped them up to right field. Mookie Betts right there, and will make the catch to retire the side. Red Sox coming up. No score here in the 1st inning. Here's the Sox lineup tonight, brought to you by Toyota's official website for deals, buyatoyota.com. Mookie Betts hitting .336 will lead it off. Then it's Andrew Benintendi. Steve Pearce is at first. JD Martinez, .338, number 1 in the majors, the DH. Xander Bogaerts at short. Eduardo Nunez at third. Ian Kinsler at second. He looks like he's heating up. Sandy Leon doing the catching, and Jackie Bradley in center field against the right-hander Trevor Richards, 3-7. He's a rookie, a .423 ERA. Red Sox have already faced him once this season and beat him. That was in Miami. In fact, he made his major league debut against the Red Sox back in April. And Mookie Betts to lead things off. You were down on the field with Mookie before the game.
Yeah, Mookie received the Heart and Hustle Award from the Alumni Association. It's kind of a prestigious award to get if you're a player.
Knocks that one to right on the move. Ortega backing up. He's got it. One away.
All right, let's check in on the Marlins defense tonight. Around the infield, Anderson, Rojas, Castro. And there's a couple Rojas's there. Rojas is actually at first base tonight. Around the outfield, Dean's in left, Galloway in center, Ortega in right. And here's your battery. Realmuto was playing first base last night, catching tonight. Will catch Richards.
One gone for Andrew Benintendi, 1 for 5 with a double last night. The Red Sox have twice in recent weeks dramatically avoided a 4-game losing streak. Still the only team in the majors who have not lost 4 in a row.
Probably should give JT Riddle his due. He is actually a shortstop in tonight's game. Rojas isn't playing everywhere.
That would really be a story. Cross for a strike. Pierce on deck. Richards 25 years old, 6'2", about 190.
Kind of a great success story, signed out of the Independent Frontier League.
And he will put away Benintendi, a swing and a miss. He got him with the changeup, and that certainly is his money pitch.
Throws that changeup about 35% of the time. Look at the action on that thing, down and away from Benny. That's a tough pitch to hit, as you mentioned, easily his best pitch. He gets a ton of ground balls.
2 away for Steve Pearce, who is at first base tonight. 289, 10 home runs. Ballpark filling up, not quite full yet with the earlier start here this evening, but getting there. Tried to hold up, did he? No, he did not. It's a swing and a miss.
You know, for people that don't follow the Independent League Baseball, and I wouldn't expect you to, there's Steve Pearce, couldn't hold up right there. You know, if you're playing in Indie League Baseball in the Frontier League, you're not going to the big leagues. You've probably already had your chance. People looked over you.
Into strike 3. Back-to-back Ks by Richards. Red Sox go in order. Top 2 here at Fenway. No score after 1. Dietrich leading off against David Price. Dietrich 267, 15 home runs. He was 0 for 4 last night. High fly ball that's deep down the line. He pulled that one way into the corner and gone. Home run for Derek Dietrich, number 16. And that puts the Marlins in front quickly, 1-0 here in the second inning. No doubter.
Well, certainly you got to look to be aggressive if you're a Marlins hitter, because David is filling up the strike zone with strikes. This is a changeup that just stays up for him a little bit. Not the great action that we've seen out of the changeup from David Price since the All-Star break. Dietrich's all over it.
Well, what's with the Marlins hitting home runs? That's not their game, but they've hit 4 of them already. First 2 games of the series. Austin Dean, 220 with 2 home runs. Last weekend he had a 3-hit game against the Yankees. And that'll find the mark on the inner corner for a strike. You see where the Cleveland Indians have placed relief pitcher Andrew Miller on the DL with left shoulder impingement.
Shoulders aren't good.
His 3rd trip this year to the DL. Previously sidelined with a hamstring issue and inflammation in the right knee. He's 2-3 with a 3.38 ERA. Nobody's worried about the division. They have that locked down, but it's beyond that. That one really disappeared. Swing and a miss. He got him. He struck him out. 2nd K in the book for Price.
Well, he's not afraid to go back to that pitch. Look at that. Now that's some late action on the changeup. It's the pitch he was hoping to throw to Dietrich. You see the action off the end of that little finger. Just turning it over a little bit, getting the reverse spin on that ball, and it fades away.
Amica Insurance, great service, great coverage, a great price for auto, home, and life insurance. And we'll send up Miguel Rojas, the first baseman. Batting .256 with 10 home runs. 1-0 Miami. It's been a while since Price started a game against the Marlins. You have to go back to 2014 when he was a member of the Tampa Bay Rays. Struck out 11 in that start. Tonight bidding for his 15th win. And Rojas will not connect on that one. 1-2. A steady diet of changeups early. Aaron Judge said yesterday that he may be able to return to action with the Yankees before that chip fracture in his right wrist is fully healed. He said, "That's what I've heard. It's okay to play with that, as he doesn't need surgery." He said, "I can play with it before it actually fully heals. It's just getting that pain down to 0."
Which won't happen. Pain will be there if it's not healed. He'll have to deal with that.
Hit by a pitch on July 26th, so it's been a while. Swelling has gone down, but he hasn't passed the test they want him to pass, and he's not swinging a bat against pitching. So we shall see. Yankees are taking on the White Sox again tonight. Game that'll begin in about another 15 minutes. Red Sox up by 6.5. Here's the 2-2. To his right, Pierce will take it himself. He will outrace Rojas for out number 2. And he'll send up Riddle.
Hey, you want a head start on your Boston sports news every day? Subscribe to NESN.com's daily email newsletter, The Lead. Start your morning with the latest headlines in New England sports. Go to NESN.com/newsletter to subscribe today.
Riddle 225, 8 home runs. He's driven in 30. He threw away that potential double play ball in the 9th inning to give the Red Sox the 8-7 win, charged with an error.
Now Freddie Gonzalez is a third base coach here. Of course, he used to manage the Marlins, also used to manage the Braves. I had a nice conversation with him today about his outfielders that are all younger kids.
Popped up, Bogart's out to left, and we'll take it. So after the home run, Price gets the next 3, but 1-0 Miami. Auto Service, we're always here to get you there. JD against Miami in his career, .327 with 3 home runs. He's driven in 9. He will lead off the second inning, 1-0. The Marlins have the lead. Bogart's on deck. JD, of course, the son of Miami. 2 for 4 last night to run his hitting streak to 7 in a row. Closing in on 100 runs. He scored 98.
He knocks himself in a lot.
Certainly does. How about this? Some Tiger fans. A couple of former Tigers in the Red Sox lineup. Good seats too. A strike. JD last night recording his 3rd consecutive multi-hit game. Been locked in pretty good. Two and two. Leading the major leagues in batting average, hits, slugging percentage, RBIs, extra base hits, and total bases.
And the list goes on.
There actually are more. Here's the 2-2 and a full count.
Oh, setting you up for the rest of it. It's easier to list the things he doesn't lead in, really.
Kinda.
It is, just is.
And in most of that, he's like second or third. Payoff pitch. And he got him. Struck him out. He's not going to blow you away with that fastball. It's 91 to 92, but he has 3 consecutive Ks here.
They talk about his command, and that's it right there. Hey, Red Sox season ticket plans for the 2019 season are now on sale. New plans will include access to potential 2018 postseason games. For more information, go to redsox.com/season tickets.
One away, Xander Bogaerts checks in at 285, 19 homers, 85 driven in. One nothing Miami. Astros won today. They stunned Oakland on a walk-off home run. Houston's lead in the West had been cut to a game and a half by Oakland going into that, so now back to 2.5. They appeal, no swing.
Just to finish that story about the outfielders here for the Marlins, they're all young players, a couple rookies out there, and they've all said that the balls feel different to them at the major league level. They feel slippery, and we've heard that before from pitchers and other players. They were all in the minor leagues where the seams are a little higher.
That was a wicked line drive, but caught by Castro. It's hit right to him. 2 down.
So Freddie was telling him you got to figure that out. You got to maybe get a little pine tar on your hands, or maybe have a little in your glove to make sure that you can get a tacky feeling when you come up throwing the ball. We saw Austin here in left field just kind of airmail a throw yesterday because he couldn't get a grip on it, and he just kind of looped it in there. Austin Dean threw that one throw to home, and it was high because he couldn't get a grip. But you got to get a little tackiness, a different feel of baseball at the major league level.
Eduardo Nunez eyeing a strike. He's hitting .262, 8 home runs. And playing just about every day at third base. 6-game hitting streak for Nunez. And 2 hits last night, including that home run, which just got over the shelf up there above the green monster. He rips that one, but foul. Back to the home run cut.
He did hit this one hard too. He just buggy whipped it out there. Ooh. just squeaked over the top. Those two little kids out there, they knew it was gone before anyone else. Thank you very much.
Yeah, in fact, Eduardo had darted back to first base after rounding. He wasn't sure.
I think that was a smart play, too, because you don't want to get hung out to dry out there thinking that you did hit a home run if they say you didn't.
Ian Kinsler on deck. 2 down, bases are clear.
Try to go inside again.
2-2. Nunez has seen Richards in the appearance back in April. He got double off him, went 1 for 2. Red Sox saw this kid at the beginning of the year in Miami, and they hit him pretty hard. They beat him 7-3. He allowed 8 hits, 5 earned runs in 4 1/3, including a home run.
Hanley Ramirez hit that home run.
Hanley had some great years with Miami when they were the Florida Marlins. Two. Hammered and a foul ball off the line.
Ooh. Not sure now it was 100% sure what he wanted to call on this play. I don't know if we'll get a shot of him making the call. He took a long look, yeah, and then he finally said that's a foul ball. Awfully close. He's a good umpire.
So Nunez back in 2-2 with 2 down.
Wouldn't be surprised to see a changeup right here. It is his best pitch. He'll throw it any time. He's got a 3-2 count here.
Richards last year was the Marlins minor league pitcher of the year. He posted a 2.48 ERA in the minors. And that got him the big promotion, 3-2. Very pesky here by Nunez.
10 pitches. That's amazing too. We started to talk about that a little bit. You don't get signed out of those independent leagues, you know. And this guy has done a nice job for them. How did he fall through the cracks in the first place? Fastball away, four seam.
Well, it'll take at least 12 pitches to get him, or for Eduardo to get Richards. .25-year-old throws a lot of strikes. He's at 72% right now. And the 3-2. High fly ball down the left field line. Into the corner. Gone. On the 12th pitch of the at-bat, Eduardo Nunez, for the second night in a row, jacks one out of here, and that ties the ball game.
Well, it's a little foreshadowing by the guys down in the truck showing Alex Cora before that pitch. Remember, Cora had an 18 pitch at bat before he drilled a home run. And then there goes Nooney again on back-to-back nights. What an at bat. He just fouled off every tough pitch he could see until he got one he really liked. Cora says, I've done that before.
As you mentioned, a little bit longer.
Yeah, I think it was 18 pitches, wasn't it?
Was. I had the call of that home run on ESPN.
No way.
Oh, yeah. off of Matt Clement. Line drive into right field and into the glove of Ortega. And that will retire the side, but Nunez strikes and we are even at 1. Tospo for every Red Sox homer through the end of the month. Use your Speedy Rewards card when you purchase 3 cooler beverages and receive 1,000 bonus points. Well, Eduardo Nunez launching one of the monster seats. This one tied up 1-1. So each side with a solo home run. Galloway leading it off here, the number 9 man against Price, and then the top of the order, Ortega. We came on the air talking about Eduardo Nunez tonight and how he looks like the guy the Red Sox got from the Giants last year when he hit the ground running with the Red Sox and was tearing the cover off the ball.
Came in here, did nothing but hit, played excellent defense, and hit with some power. Back-to-back nights with a home run.
He would play in 38 games with the Red Sox after the trade. He hit 8 homers, drove in 27, and he batted .321. That's in there for strike 3. He froze him. 1 man away. Time to comforts of home, brought to you by Bernie and Phil's. Red Sox Major League ranks at home. They're first in the majors in wins, average, extra base hits, and OPS. And right now during Bernie and Phil's Labor Day event, you choose your savings from one of 3 great offers. We'd like to extend a very warm welcome to the great folks, Bernie and Phil's team, who are here enjoying the game at Fenway Park tonight. Thanks for being here, everybody. Great to see you. Braving the heat. I do see a couple of beverages there, though. I think that's the way to go.
Yeah. Wow.
It's the smart call.
Hanging out in the Nesson booth there, having a good time.
Ortega is 0 for 1. He is grounded out to second. High chop. Price going back on it. He's got it over the shoulder. Guns the throw that skips on past Pierce, but it does not get inside the dugout. So Ortega will probably be on with a base hit here.
David made such a nice athletic play to go back there and get it, but the angle for him to try to turn and make a decent throw to first base was almost impossible. But he's got to come back and throw it the opposite direction. As soon as he threw it, he was like laughing at himself, thinking, there's no way I'm going to do this.
So base hit for Ortega with 1 away. Sends up Brian Anderson. Red Sox are headed for Chicago. It's supposed to be a good bit cooler there when the Red Sox land. And through that 4-game series coming up, Steve will be alongside for all of those games, and then on to Atlanta,
where it will not be so cool.
Will not be cooler than here. Not by a long shot, but Rick Porcello gets the nod in Game 1 on Thursday. Eovaldi on Friday. Eduardo Rodriguez making his return to the rotation on Saturday, and then Brian Johnson on Sunday. And 4 days in the great city of Chicago. Rodon, very, very tough customer there in Game 3.
This is really the bright part of this Marlins offense right here with Anderson, Realmuto. Anderson playing third base, but he's an excellent right fielder, they say. Pretty versatile player. And then Realmuto is probably their best athlete. So this is the toughest part that Price will see.
Anderson, a good night last night. He was 2 for 4, drew a walk. Hot shot, knocked down by Pierce. He'll gun down to second. Did he hang on to the bag? He did. Xander Bogaerts got the out there at second base. Wow. Extending a long leg there, got the foot on it.
Steve Pearce made the right play here to go cut down that first out at second base. Just maybe hurried the throw a little bit. Let's see the footwork of Xander. Oh, hard to see, but it looked to me like he just drugged that foot across the bag. That's an amazing play. He was looking for that ball to be inside the base, not outside. Did he tap it?
They thought about appealing it, and Don Mattingly decided not to do it. That's a heck of a play.
Oh, you know, ideally Xander Bogaerts is looking for that throw to be on the inside of the base, so you clear away from any potential, you know, the ball hitting the runner or anything like that. And that ball tailed on him, went to the other side of the base, and Xander was amazing keeping his foot on the bag. 2
down. Anderson becomes the runner at first base. Realmuto singled his first time up. Tied up 1-1 in the third. David Price with a 7-game home winning streak. During that time here at Fenway, his ERA is 2.19. He's got 2 down. That one shot to the alley. That's trouble. On the grass. That's going to get to the track up against the wall. That's going to bring in a run potentially. Here comes the run trying to score. Here's the throw home, and Anderson slides in safe on a double by Realmuto. That'll make it 2-1.
Well, the Red Sox did a great job of setting up this relay for a chance at a play at the plate. And I think Bogey tried to hustle just a little bit too much. I think he bobbled just a little on this transfer. Watch Bogaerts when he gets the ball. You see Jackie going out there. They're all lining up to make sure they're headed straight towards home. And just a little bobble by Bogey right there gave him a chance to score. Watch him right here. Reached in, didn't get it, had to go back in there and get it, and that gave it just enough time for the run to score.
Anderson sliding across, so that'll make it 2-1. Realmuto down to second and sends up Castro 0 for 1 with a fly to right. Realmuto 27 doubles. He's had a solid offensive year, and that'll be ball 1 on Castro.
Hit his career high 17th home run in last night's ball game.
Now, to your point, this is the part of the order pretty much that's going to give you trouble.
Where if they're going to do damage, this is where it's coming from.
And Price with a 1-0. He drops it in. Castro, one of the few guys in their lineup because they have so many kids, so many youngsters, who has some experience against Price. 8 for 20 off him coming into play tonight, which is 400. So the lefty has to be very careful here.
Castro's been tough against the Red Sox too. He hits over 330 against this club.
Dietrich on deck. He homered in the second inning. Red Sox and the Marlins concluding their 4-game season series tonight. Red Sox have won the first 3. They've never swept the Marlins in a season series. That one headed toward the alley. That's dropping. Mookie Betts can't get to it. Another run is in. On the base hit, Real Muto scores to make it 3-1. Castro striking again.
Mookie got to the ground on this one very quickly, but it didn't matter. You do anything you can to catch this ball because you know you have Jackie backing you up. And as soon as the ball hits the ground, a run's going to score. He's off at the crack of the bat. You're not throwing anyone out at the plate if this ball hits the ground. So give it your best effort, and that's what Mookie tried to do.
So the Marlins with a couple of runs in the inning on 3 hits off of David Price. They'll send up Derek Dietrich, who crushed a home run in the second inning down the right field line. Number 16. And now Price just trying to get out of the third here without any more damage. Dietrich 0 for 4 last night, but that broke an 8-game hitting streak. So he has been swinging it, and that's going to drill him. He gets hit on the arm and in some pain as he begins to walk up the first base line. That'll put runners at first and second.
That's clearly not where David Price was going with that pitch, and Dana's going to come out and talk with him. Look at down and away is the location of that pitch, and that thing was missed by 4 feet. Up and in. He's got that guard on his elbow, but it didn't hit his elbow.
So rocky third inning. Although it began with a strikeout of the number 9 hitter. I've seen 3 hits and a hit batsman since then.
Yeah, Dave, you know, the only fault I really see with David Price right now is he's throwing too many strikes. He's so predictable right now being around the plate. Might be better off trying to get these guys to chase out of the zone after he gets ahead. He's just kind of pounding the zone, and they're swinging.
Brings up Austin Dean, the left fielder. Had his contract brought up middle of the month from AAA. Made his major league debut that night. One of many young Marlins, and he will take one in there for a strike at 89.
We asked the question last night. These certain players on certain teams get hit by pitches. That's the 18th time Dietrich's been hit by a pitch, and 90th of his career.
Castro at second, Dietrich on at first with 2 gone.
Let's see if David changes his MO a little bit. Maybe get someone to go outside the zone on the 0-2 count.
He has 3 Ks in the book so far tonight. Up 2 strikes on Dean, and here comes. Poke foul. Sox just 3-6 in their last 9 games after going 17-3 in the previous 20.
Now, I would say as you watch that last pitch on an 0-2 pitch, I would say that was too good of a pitch to hit 0-2.
He's at 78%, almost 80% on strikes so far.
Sometimes that can be too many. Get him to chase.
Line shot right off of Price. It caroms to Pierce. Back to the pitcher and got him at first base.
What a great reaction by David Price.
But that has happened to him 2 or 3 times this season on wicked line drives off his body. Well, he made some recovery to get over there.
Amazing. You don't even know where you are after that ball comes at you that quickly and that fast, and be able to react and get over there and cover the bag.
Looking at his arm as he went down the dugout steps. And we'll take the break. 3-1 Miami. Off of David Price, off the pitching arm or wrist area.
I mean, that came back so quickly. I mean, my goodness, it's hard to even see where he got hit. He's looking at his wrist right there. Now, to me, it looks like there's a little discoloration in his arm right below his palm, but who knows?
Well, Alex Spear joining us from the Boston Globe, and this isn't the first time this season we've seen David get nailed by a line drive. We've seen a couple catch him, in the midsection. This one popped up by Sandy Leon, and Dean there for the catch, one away.
He's certainly dealt with a couple of injuries this year, and let's not forget also that he had the wrist discomfort that was the carpal tunnel issue earlier in the season that was affecting his ability to manipulate pitches a little bit. So, he has been the most durable of a Red Sox starter outside of Rick Porcello this year, and his health is paramount as the Red Sox are trying to get into September, trying to get healthy, trying to get Chris Sale back, who's been making strides. It'll be interesting to see exactly what happened there.
Now, nobody is warming up in the Red Sox bullpen, and if this was something going to knock him out of the game, somebody would be throwing right now. So that's a promising sign for David Price. This one popped up into left, or at least it means he plans to give it a go to get back out there again. 2 down as the Red Sox are down 3-1, and Mookie Betts coming up.
If he went back out to the mound and tried to pitch and then couldn't, Pomeranz would have as many pitches as he wants to come in and throw. So it's not necessary that he gets up to throw right now.
Let Price return to the mound and see where he's at, I suppose.
That would be the best scenario, to have him back out there pitching.
Yeah, I guess my point is that if they knew he was hurt, they'd be warming him up right.
Yes, sir.
Absolutely. Keep the flow of the game moving. But, that was just one of several instances in which the Marlins have hit balls hard against Price. This isn't quite as sharp as what we've seen from Price in his last few outings, where so few balls were hit with any kind of authority, and he's been keeping hitters so effectively off balance.
Mookie Betts 0 for 1. He is lined out to right. Brad Pearson there, the head trainer for the Red Sox, talking with manager Alex Cora, and Daniel Levangie just came up the tunnel. Mookie trying to hold up but can't. That's a swing and a miss.
That changeup has had the Red Sox pretty well off balance for much of the night to this point, save for the one at bat for the one swing from Nunez. They're seemingly having a very difficult time picking up that changeup out of the hand of Richards. You've seen some swings and misses, some check swings that have suggested as much.
The one guy that rarely gets fooled by a changeup is standing in the box right now.
His ability to pick up the ball out of the pitcher's hand is so elite. That's actually one of the things that really attracted the Red Sox to him in the draft back in 2011. That was the first year that the Red Sox in their draft process used what they now call neuro scouting, in which they gave a guy a computer test on essentially an iPad just to see what his hand-eye reaction time was on kind of simulated pitches on a computer screen. And Mookie Betts was off the charts, which suggested to them there might be something interesting about pitch recognition here.
You saw Daniel Levangie getting on the horn. So we shall see. 3-2. There's a high drive down the line for the monster. Seat's gone. Mookie Betts crushing number 28. And the Red Sox have hit their second tonight off of Richards. His first since the 9th of August.
Well, what do you do if you're a pitcher and your best pitch is a changeup, but you know the guy standing at the plate can adjust to that as well as anybody in the game? You try to throw him something else. Fastball didn't work. Man, he can get on top of a fastball, can he?
And Betts' ability to make adjustments over the course of the game is so spectacular. You see it the first time through the order, he's usually kind of taking stock of a pitcher's arsenal. Second and third time through, he is unmatched in terms of the impact that he makes against pitchers, against starting pitchers. That's part of the reason why the Rays used the opener against the Red Sox, because they want to diminish the number of times that a starting pitcher is going to face him.
Pop foul, back at a play by Benintendi. Meanwhile, in the Red Sox bullpen, Hector Velasquez has begun to warm. So the indication that Price is not going to be able to come back after that wicked line drive. He's come back from other ones that have caught the body, but you're talking about the pitching wrist or that area right under the wrist, whatever it was.
The whole problem in the carpal tunnel stuff was that there was swelling around that same area, and that affected his ability to get extension on his wrist, which in turn diminished his ability to manipulate pitches and do what he wanted to with the ball. So that is something that, you know, the Red Sox would surely be mindful of. If he's not able to move his wrist in a normal pitcher way, then he's going to be significantly diminished and needs to get better.
Little topper to Rojas, and Benintendi will be set down. That'll do it. But the Red Sox strike. Alex, thank you very much.
Thanks, guys.
Obviously, we'll follow this. Here comes Alex Cora. 3-2 Miami. because of a line drive off the body. Got him around the wrist area from what we saw. This wicked shot up the middle. And he was able somehow to recover and get that out at first base.
That's tremendous. You know, it's easier said than done. I told you this before. My dad always used to say, make the play, then you can be hurt. But that's a hard thing to do. You know, David's been hit by a few of those balls. And like Derek Lowe used to get hit all the time on balls coming back up the middle. But that was because he was in bad position. Nobody gets out of the way of that ball that was hit at David Price right there. That was a bullet that you can't get out of the way fast enough.
So we don't know details. We're not going to speculate. We're going to hopefully find out information on the extent of that injury. But we know he's out of the game, and we know as of this moment the Red Sox are without David Price and Chris Sale.
When David Price has been pretty darn near the best pitcher in the game since the All-Star break.
So Hector Velasquez will get as many warm-up tosses as required. He had just started warming up before we went to the inning break. And a right-hander takes over in a 3-2 game. Miami up a run, about to begin the fourth inning here in the finale of the series. Hector's last two outings, both as a starter against Tampa Bay, both here and down there. His last relief appearance was on the 15th against Philadelphia. As a reliever, he's 5-0 with a 2.58 ERA. Time now for our social stretch, which is brought to you by Ram. Here's Casey.
Okay, minor league bat dogs are all the rage. A player gets a hit or a walk, the dog comes out, retrieves the bat. Johnny Santos, he's one of the Greensboro Grasshoppers. He thought that he drew a walk, so he put the bat down. The pitch was actually a strike, so he had to continue the at-bat. But hey, he dropped the bat, so Miss Lulu Gehrig, who you're seeing on the screen, the bat dog, ran out to get it. Full video on my Twitter. But come on, don't put the bat down until you're ready for Lulu to take it. That's your Ram Social Drive.
Yes, that's the rule. Lulu knows what Lulu's doing. Thanks, Casey. Appreciate it very much. 3-2 here as we go to the fourth inning. And some early fireworks in this one. Dietrich with a home run in the second inning. And for the Sox tonight, Nunez and Betts have already gone deep.
Something the Red Sox did not want to see in tonight's ball game, especially with Price on the mound. You figured he would get deep into a ball game. They did not want to get into this bullpen after going deep into that bullpen last night. You know, Dave, one of the luxuries of having a guy like Velasquez around who is a long man. There's a lot of teams that aren't even carrying a long man in their bullpen anymore.
First man up against him will be Miguel Rojas. So for one, he's grounded out to first. Let's get on to Garen.
Thanks, Obi. We just got an update from the Red Sox. David Price left the game due to a left wrist contusion. He's going to be evaluated further, and guys, hopefully we'll know more after the game tonight.
All right, Garen, thank you very much. He's been pitching great baseball. Hammered to short. Xander Bogaerts on the friendly bounce. One away. It's Winning Wednesday, and if the Red Sox win, Plain Ridge Park Casino will donate $777 to the Relay for Life of North Attleboro. JT Riddle 0 for 1. He's popped to short.
Riddle's been hot. 3 homers, 10 RBIs in his last, or 9 RBIs in his last 10 games.
You'd like to have that play back last night.
Yes, he would.
It's one thing to make an error. It's another thing when you throw one away in the bottom of the ninth and cost your team a chance. But he'll single here the other way.
MLB.TV is now available at a lower price for just $49.99. You can watch every out-of-market regular season game live or on demand. Blackout and other restrictions do apply. Visit MLB.TV to take advantage of this special offer.
We did see a lot of the bullpen guys for the Red Sox head out to the pen after David Price came out after the end of the inning. They came out to the pen a lot earlier than normal, knowing they may be necessary tonight.
It's kind of an indication of how much confidence they have in David Price that they didn't bother showing up in the pen when the game started. They were just going to hang out in the dugout for a few innings.
Drew Pomeranz, one of the first guys to get out there. Galloway 0 for 1. He struck out. Runner at first, one away.
You talked about Galloway last night being 10 years in the minor leagues. They say he certainly appreciates being here, maybe a little bit more than the normal kid does. He's a very respectful guy. He's a great teammate. They love him on this team.
Well, it's a great story. Whenever you see this, runner goes. Here's the throw down, the tag, and he is out. Got him. I'll tell you what, Nick Lentz, the umpire, took a long look at this one.
Great combination of a very quick release from Sandy Leon and an outstanding snap tag by Ian Kinsler. Watch the tag. Boom, quick as you can get it there. I think he was looking to see if he tagged him on the first swipe. Does he get him when he swipes by the first time? He did not. And then he came back.
I thought with the first tag he missed him.
He did miss him. They didn't challenge at all. In fact, they got the ball back in and started playing very quickly, almost like they didn't have a chance to challenge it.
A 3-1 in there for a strike.
In the old days, Dave, that was it. Swipe through there, you're out. Ball beats you, you swipe through, take a hike. That was like an old school play right there. Kinsler tagged him so quickly he missed him.
Now maybe he got him across the fingernail. Cut on and missed. He put him away. So Velasquez faces only 3 men.
Leaving the ballpark at Beth Israel Deaconess Medical Center First Aid Station at Fenway, located behind Section 12 on the lower concourse. Beth Israel Deaconess Medical Center is the official hospital of the Boston Red Sox. Visit bidmc.org.
Red Sox trailing by a run as we go to the bottom half of the 4th inning.
It's a mouthful.
Well handled. Pierce struck out in the 1st inning. He'll be followed by Martinez and then Bogarts. Still rather surprised that Don Mattingly did not challenge that play at second base. You know, Kinsler may well have gotten him, but it was so close. Surprised that the manager of the Marlins did not challenge, and he does have a challenge.
Yeah, they it did seem like they got the ball back to the pitcher and they started playing pretty quickly. But you can stand up there and say, wait a minute, we're going to look at this.
Well, the base stealer, Riddle, left the base immediately as if, well, I know I'm out. So that was interesting. Here comes the 3-1 to Pierce.
Every guy down there in the production truck, we had 100 different angles of it. Some great views of that play, and it just looked like he swiped through the first time and missed him.
Trevor Richards with a 3-2, and that changeup strikes him out. Boy, that really is a fine pitch for him. One man gone. Let's get out of Guerin.
OB Steve, last Thursday, Mitch Moreland injured his knee when he collided with the concrete on the camera well. Now, Moreland missed 2 games and said he wasn't super happy about the concrete, and said in a roundabout way he'd exchanged some text messages and had some conversations about what they could do to prevent this from happening in the future. Sure enough, guys, when the team returned from the road trip, there is now very thick green padding down here on the camera well. Now, it's not going to stop a player from joining us down here, but this certainly should protect from future injuries. Guys?
By the way, it looks like it's been there forever.
Yeah, I didn't even.
You know?
Yeah, it looks great.
Which reminds me of, you know, the padding out there in center field, which was only after Freddie Lynn went crashing into it many times.
I was actually having that conversation with Jim Rice earlier in the dugout before the game. He was telling me about that, how everything out there has changed.
Looks uniform. Line shot caught by Castro, and so Martinez is out for the second time.
And while Guerin's trying to get out of the way of a foul ball, she'll never bump her head and get hurt down there.
Well, that's right.
That's good.
Camera well's been the focus of some stuff lately. 2 up, 2 down. Bogart's next. Xander has also lined to second. Red Sox have just 2 hits so far, and they are both home runs. Nunez and Betts. Mookie with number 28. It's not September yet. Xander Bogaerts has 39 doubles. He would become the 3rd Red Sox shortstop in the last 50 years to hit 40 doubles with 1 more, joining John Valentin and Nomar Garciaparra.
Valentin was a doubles machine, and Nomar had the doubles and the home runs.
It's just a machine.
Yeah.
Nomar twice had 50. In 2000 he had 51. 2002 56 doubles. Drove in 120 runs that year. Man, could he hit. And he did not wait around.
No, he swung at the first pitch every time.
Nomar would be perfect for the Red Sox of today with his hitting style.
He was pretty perfect for the Red Sox back then too.
Yes. Fit in ideally with the philosophy the Red Sox have of attack early. If it's there, swing the bat early, do damage right away.
See if he goes back-to-back changeups here on the 2-2 count. Yep.
And struck him out. Boy, that is a good pitch. He gets the Red Sox 1-2-3. honoring the 13 champions. Game number 134. Red Sox beat Baltimore 4-3. Dustin Pedroia drove in 2. Stephen Drew scored twice. Koji picked up his 14th save of that season. Every time I say Koji, I smile. Remembering that remarkable season for Koji Uehara. Throwing 87, 88 miles an hour, and guys would screw themselves into the ground trying to hit it, and they couldn't touch him. All the way to a World Series. Shot knocked down by Pierce. Can he find it in time? He'll throw to first. Nicely done. Velasquez got there for out number 1.
Boy, he didn't back off of that throw to first either, did he? He threw a bullet at Velasquez, and Velasquez took that throw at first like he was a normal first baseman. I got this. Steve Pierce right here. The last thing you want to do is panic here. He knows he has some time, but he's got to firm this over there. Velasquez perfectly timed. It's a nice play.
Hector's a good athlete too.
Yes, he is.
Former outfielder. Used to swing the bat. One man away. Brian Anderson struck out, reached on a fielder's choice, and came in to score in the 3rd inning. When they put together 3 hits, scored 2 more runs.
How about the fundies on the PFPs from the pitchers for the Red Sox tonight? Excellent. Couple plays that they had to get over quickly on and did it perfectly.
Miami, however, has out-hit the Red Sox to this point 6-2. Just a 1-run game, however. Here in the 5th. 1-1. Red Sox own Major League Baseball's highest winning percentage at home. 723 at home, a record of 47-18 at Fenway. Trying to make it 2 for 2 in this very quick homestand against Miami.
Oh,
that hits him. That got away.
I guess it did.
You know, you made the point last night. We've seen several guys get hit by pitches in these first 2 games that obviously, given how hot it is, the ball's slipping.
Yeah, I mean, if you get a close-up of a lot of these guys, they've got sweat running all the way down their arm. It's just beating up on them. It's got to be all over their fingers. Look, he's going to the rosin bag now. Velasquez is out there to try to sop up some of the moisture, but look at how glistening his arm is. You can just see the sweat all over him. You know that's running down. Hard to stay dry.
Anderson on, a hit batsman, the second of the night. Real Muto has had a good night with a single and a double. He is 2 for 2 and hitting .288. It's obviously been a very tough go this season for Derek Jeter's Marlins. They're 53-80. But they have several very good young players. A guy throwing last night 101 miles an hour.
If he just knew where it was going.
That was the issue with Guerrero.
And this kid here too, he's probably one of their best players. You look up his numbers as far as National League catches are concerned, he's at the top of a lot of the lists here. So he's one of their better players and got some guys to build around. Might be a little while.
Yeah, might take a little while. 0-2 down into the dirt. They are used to rebuilding in South Florida.
But as you said, 2 world championships to their credit in a very short period of time as an organization.
I remember when the Marlins won in 1997, they won the first of those 2 titles. It was a real shock to that area that they won as quickly as they did. It only took 5 years from birth to world champion.
Well, they did some smart stuff there. Of course, they drafted well. They had high picks. They got good young talent, and then made some great moves and additions at the deadline and as far as free agent signings. They went out and got some guys that were veteran players that could play, and it was a great mix of veterans and kids that were good.
Yep, that's exactly right. And then tore it all to pieces. And sold the franchise. 2-2 will not be made, and a dive back by Anderson.
And you were down there, so you know this better than anybody. But wasn't that partly because even though they put a championship team together, they still nobody came to watch them play?
Yeah, you know, first year they drew 3 million. After that, it was a lot tougher to draw. And even the championship year, they didn't get anywhere near that. And that's when Wayne Huizenga made that decision. Hey, if this is the way it's going to be, swing and a miss, strike 3 as Real Muto goes down hacking.
I can't pay big money to big time players and have them come down here and not be able to support the club if nothing's coming back in.
Right. So that call was made. Even though that team had a lot of players, key guys signed up to long-term agreeable contracts, they still blew the whole thing up. And the guy who had to do it was the guy who built it, which was Dave Dombrowski.
Exactly.
And I know it broke his heart to do that because he had a team that could have won a championship maybe 1 or 2 more times already in place. So.
But the thing they did do is when they got rid of those big pieces, they got a lot of small prospects back, and they turn around and win again.
And they did. Chopper foul here by Castros, flied out and singled in a run. They had very different looking uniforms and even a different name back then as the Florida Marlins. One of the conditions of moving the ball club to the land they had available to build a new ballpark in downtown Miami was they had to rename them the Miami Marlins.
I had that series when they played against the Cubs, and they kind of shocked the world beating the Cubs after they were down 3 games to 1, and we all kind of looked at it. We looking at each other like, this is a better team than the Cubs, and no one will be surprised if they come back and win. And they did it against Pryor, Zambrano, and who's the third one I'm thinking? Wood. Those were the 3 starters that they beat.
Gary Wood. 0-2 on Castro.
Maybe Steve Bartman had something to do with it.
I was going to say, you were in the booth for that, right?
Yeah.
The Bartman played down the line on the topic of fans making plays.
Yeah, that might be Steve Bartman right there. He's very happy about the snag he made.
Bartman not quite so happy.
Too bad, too.
But the catch he did not make. Bounced up there and right through Sandy Leon to the backstop. That'll advance the runner Anderson down to second.
Did that ball go through his legs or did it bounce up over Sandy? It's hard to block a ball that goes. Watch this bounce. Boink. Wow. How are you supposed to block that?
1-2. 3-2 Miami, 5th inning. And Velasquez trying to hold this runner at second. White Sox have a 2-0 lead on the Yankees there in the 3rd inning.
It's one thing that Velasquez is not afraid to do, run a pitch in off the plate hard. That allows him to go back away from the hitter.
3-2. Red Sox have lost David Price after 3 innings to a left wrist contusion. And everyone's certainly hoping that's all it is. There are more exams being undertaken. And I'm sure an X-ray part of that. Kind of holding your breath there. 3-2 and up the middle he goes. That'll be a base hit to center. Anderson rounding. He is going to score. An RBI single by Castro. That's his 2nd in the ball game. That'll make it 4-2 Miami. So that wild pitch was costly.
Well, we talked about this earlier in the ball game. This part of the order, Realmuto and then Castro, guys that can really do some damage on you, and they're just pecking away. Two outs, no problem scoring. Even JBJ can't throw you out from there.
Here's Dietrich, a home run. He was hit by a pitch as well. He gets hit a lot. 4 runs on 7 hits for Miami, 2 runs, just 2 hits for the Red Sox to this point. And a 1-0 pitch is fouled in the air, out of play. Red Sox in the bottom of the 5th inning will have due up Nunez, who's homered, Kinsler, and Leon. Against the so far pretty tough right-hander Trevor Richards. Pomerantz beginning to move around in the pen.
Richards came as advertised with an outstanding changeup. He's using it a lot. You got to think the Red Sox are going to start to put that in their memory bank and understand that they're going to see it quite often in that at bat. Start looking for it. A couple of seasons ago, he was playing in the independent league. Wow.
Did you feel like as a hitter you could look for a changeup?
You know, that's the one pitch where it's very hard to sit on, because if you don't get it and it happens to be a ball that's up and in, like if you're looking for a changeup and you see a fastball up and in, you can't get out of the way of it. You can sit on other pitches, but it's hard to sit on a changeup.
He's gone to 3-1 on Dietrich.
And usually guys that do have a good changeup, look at Pedro Martinez, a guy that has a good changeup's also a guy that is going to bust you hard inside every once in a while, because he doesn't want you to be thinking about that changeup.
He went for it on 3-1 and flicked it foul. That was an off-speed pitch. Yeah, great changeup, and you can throw 98. That'll get you to Cooperstown.
And it did. There's a split. I'll tell you what, Pedro, every pitch out of his hand looked exactly the same.
Oh, that's just deadly.
Every one. His changeup, his curveball, his slider, his 98. You couldn't tell what it was coming out of his hand.
3-2 with a runner going, fouled away.
People talk so much about changing the eye angles, and usually when you're talking about that, you're talking about height of pitches. If I want to change your eye angle, I'm going to go up and then I'm going to go back down. But Pedro was one of those guys where he didn't change anyone's eye angle because he did this every time. Go ahead, watch it. This is where it's coming from. There's my curveball, there's my fastball. The only thing that's different, my curveball's like this, fastball's like this. You're not seeing that when he's throwing it.
Eye pop up in the short right center, coming on Jackie Bradley, and under to make the play. Another run in, though. It's now 4-2 Miami. Time now to check in with Garen Austin. She's with a special guest.
It is 99 night. It is clear that community involvement is very important to you guys at the 99. Why is it so important?
Well, we're a restaurant group that was founded right here in Boston. All of our restaurants are located in communities throughout New England and upstate New York. And I'm really proud of our teams to do everything that they can to be such an important part of the communities where we do business.
And Charlie, what are some examples of the community involvement that you guys participate in?
Sure. 3 good ones tonight. Pine Street Inn, longtime supporter of them right here in Boston. We presented them with a check tonight for $115,000. 20-year relationship with the local boys and girls clubs around our restaurants. $492,000 check for them tonight. And then Dana-Farber Cancer Institute right here in Boston, $700,000 worth of support tonight for them.
Wow, but you do more than write the check. What are some of the ways that your teams get involved?
We do. For years now, we've had volunteers on the second Monday of every single month at Pine Street Inn feeding the homeless folks in there every time. 13 years ago, Jim Kiley, my friend and regional vice president, ran the Falmouth Road Race for Dana-Farber. That has blossomed into what we call Team Lanzoni. 100 of us personally fundraising for Dana-Farber through that event this year. And then the Boys and Girls Clubs, countless hours that we donate there. And, you know, speaking of the Boys and Girls Clubs, too, we have 99 Boys and Girls Clubs kids here tonight at Fenway Park, many of them their first time. So really great opportunity, and just a great opportunity for us to publicly say thank you so much to all of our generous guests, business partners, and our hardworking team members who make this happen out there. And I'm so honored to say we raised and presented $1.3 million in checks tonight.
Oh, wow, that's incredible. Thank you for joining us.
Thank you, Garen. Appreciate it.
All right, OB, we'll go ahead and send it back to you.
Thanks, Garen. Very impressive. $1.3 million in checks. Bottom half of the 5th, and Miami with the 4-2 lead, trying to split this series, his quick 2-gamer before Red Sox head out to Chicago tonight. At the moment, they're trying to do a little bit more with Trevor Richards. 2 home runs by the Sox. Nunez has 1 in the 2nd, and Mookie Betts the other in the 3rd. That's been it. Literally it.
Even though we're headed to the back half of the order, this is when the Red Sox, when they struggle with the pitcher, generally introduce themselves. 5th, 6th inning.
Ninth home run of the season for Eduardo in the second. So he has a 7-game hit streak. Wasn't thrilled with that call. And let Scott Barry know. The 1-1 from Richards. I mentioned that Richards was their 2017 minor league pitcher of the year. Made his debut against the Sox in April. And the Red Sox hammered him pretty good. They got him for 8 hits and 5 earned over 4 1/3. But he got a big thrill 3 weeks after that when he squared off against the Dodger great Clayton Kershaw. And he struck out 10 Dodgers in Los Angeles.
Wow.
He allowed just 1 hit while he was in the ball game. The 3-1 fills up the count. Kinsler on deck. On a very warm night at the ballpark. Here's the 3-2 toward the shortstop. Riddle's got it. 1 away. Ace Ticket has the best seats to all Red Sox games and concerts here at Fenway. The prices and service are better than you can imagine. Visit aceticket.com today. Ian Kinsler 0 for 1. He is lined out to right. There are indications that his bat is coming back to life. He singled twice last night. He has always hit Miami well. 362 lifetime. Little dribbler here, swinging by. It's going to roll foul. And 0-2 on Kinsler.
On an all-new Bruins Summer Face-Off Live. See part 2 of Billy Jaffe's conversation with Ryan Donato, plus more from the Bruins Summer Fan Fest Tour and highlights from the Battle of Comav. Don't miss Bruins Face-Off Live tomorrow night at 6:30. Brought to you by Toyota's website for deals, buyatoyota.com.
The 0-2 to the Red Sox second baseman. On the infield, caught by Riddle. 2 fast outs. Now Richards has looked very comfortable here tonight. First time ever at Fenway. 25-year-old out of Illinois. And aside from the solo home runs, he hasn't done anything wrong.
Nope. That changeup's been perfect for him all night. Kept guys off balance. He only throws 90, but the 90 looks better when you're throwing that changeup so often. There's another one.
Sandy Leon 0 for 1. He's flying to left. Sandy in a 5 for 40 skid. He's trying to bust out of, but it won't happen here. He will pop it up. Riddle had a busy inning. He makes that catch. 1-2-3 go to the Red Sox.
over the next 5 years to extend their commitment to helping people lead tobacco-free lives and move us one step closer toward a tobacco-free generation. Learn more at cvshealth.com/be-the-first.
Moving on to the 6th inning, 4-2 Miami. Velasquez moving into another inning. He'll get Dean, Rojas, and Riddle in 6, 7, and 8. Red Sox pitchers have not had a clean 1, 2, 3 inning yet tonight. Dean has whiffed, and he's also hit a line shot off of David Price. Caught David Price on the wrist, knocked him out of the ball game, although he recovered and was able to get over there. The deflection went to Pierce at first, and then he fired on with Price covering. Long throw on target to retire Dean, one away. That was the last play of the night for Price. He had to come out because of a left wrist contusion. And we'll send up Rojas, who's grounded out twice tonight, once to first and once to short. Red Sox offensively held to 2 hits. Miami has 7.
Red Sox were out hit last night, weren't they?
Yeah, they were, despite coming back and winning the ball game.
I don't think there's any mistake by saying that the Red Sox offense is not clicking on all cylinders and hasn't been for a couple weeks. Look at the defensive alignment there, pinched in on the corners.
Little ground ball scooped up on the move by Xander Bogaerts. Nice smooth play there. 2 up and 2 down.
Tonight, after Red Sox coverage on NESN Sports Today, get the latest on the Patriots. NESN Sports Today is presented by People's United Bank, where the technology is as helpful as the people.
I guess the way things had been going all season long in the win column and all the offensive columns, we should all be forgiven for not expecting that to happen with the Red Sox, that they would go into any kind of a lull offensively, that it would just continue at that level. But over 6 months, 162 games, it is bound to happen at some point.
Never played on a team that it didn't happen on, and in some cases more than once.
Now I think back to, really super ball clubs here in Boston of recent vintage. The 07 team, that was wire to wire, right? Didn't feel like there were any blips there, but I guarantee there were months or weeks within a month where you hit a lull like this.
Sure.
Guarantee it.
Sometimes it's individually where guys are going through the slumps, and sometimes it's pretty collectively, and that's when you go through the losing streaks.
Cut on and missed, and a clean inning there for Hector Velasquez. He gets them in order.
Best inning.
Menu, get delicious afternoon snacks for $2 like donut fries, pretzel bites, and Steve's favorite waffle breaded chicken tenders. America runs on Duck, and price and participation may vary. It is a limited time offer.
If you had any of those waffle breaded chicken tenders?
Not on me.
You don't know what you're missing.
I know you're a madman about them. Bottom of the 6th inning. Red Sox trying to string some hits together. They have 2 hits tonight, both solo home runs so far. Jackie Bradley 0 for 1. He's flat out to left. He had the big hit last night, that 2-run single to tie it. And he said of the game, I do not believe in ugly wins. I believe in wins. As long as we continue to win, I don't care how ugly it is.
Win and ugly. Who was that? The White Sox 83 or something like that? They had made a whole slogan out of it.
Was that the year where they were forced to wear shorts?
It was right around that time when they wore the shorts. It was not. The slogan wasn't referring to the bad shorts.
It might have, though. Routine ground ball into the shift. And Castro will cut him down 1 away. Top of the order now, Mookie Betts. Mookie last time up crushed a home run. His 28th, so it's gone beyond Mookie for MVP. He started the night 2 points behind JD Martinez in the batting race. So he's got a chance to win the batting crown, the stolen base title, and top the list in runs scored.
And that's the one that's most important to him.
He's in the top 4 in all of those, very close to the lead in all of those with 29 to play, including tonight.
There's Mookie doing a good job of not coming out of the strike zone.
Yeah, it had been a while since he hit a home run. Had to go back to August 9th. They do tend to come for him in bunches. Now he has the count 3-0.
And by bunches, you mean like the entire first half of the season?
Felt that way. Benintendi on deck. And ball 4. First one issued tonight by Richards. Time for Built for Baseball, presented by T-Mobile.
Now check out that home run. It was a high fastball, and because he only throws 90 miles an hour, Mookie has no problem getting on top of that and just tomahawking it out of the ballpark. Remember, Mookie was on base 4 times in yesterday's game. He walked 3 times, and now, of course, with the home run and now another walk, he's on base. So that tells me he's not going out of the zone to swing at bad pitches. He's just spitting on them and taking his walks.
Benintendi has struck out and grounded out. Red Sox trying to put some hits together. And you're right, Mookie, for the 15th time this season, was on base 4 times in a game, tied with Mike Trout for the major league lead.
15 times.
According to Fangraphs, Mookie Betts leads the majors in the category of WAR, wins above replacement. Not running, and it's inside, and Real Muto would like to hand deliver the baseball. So after the walk, now 2-0, and Nieves is coming out to join in on the discussion.
Yeah, you're going to have to be careful. This part of the lineup, as we talked about, you get into that 5th and 6th inning when you're facing the Red Sox and you flip the lineup over to the top. Mookie gets the walk. Benny's ahead in the count right now. Dangerous things can happen.
Fenway was about 2/3 filled up when the ball game started because of the earlier start time at 6:35, but it has packed in.
Yeah, maybe in other parts of the country, if it's 100 degrees with some serious humidity, people say, I'm going to stay home tonight. Not in Boston. Let's go see a game.
Well, they're going to get the right-hander Rosinski going in their bullpen.
That's a smart move to get him up quick because he just balked, didn't he? Or is it timeout?
That was timeout.
Mookie called timeout.
Yeah, he's just walked a man and gone to 2-0 on Benintendi.
And if your best pitch is a changeup, then when that starts to go on you a little bit, it becomes a pitch that's not as enticing to swing at.
And 2-0. Betts holding and a strike.
Well, Benny didn't think that was a strike. Not a good enough pitch on a 2-0 count.
Tried the same spot, but he came up empty on that one, and the count 3-1. So good hitter's pitch due Benintendi. It might be a changeup, though.
Yep. How much confidence does he have in that changeup late in the game when he's throwing a bunch of pitches? He's over 80 now. Is that still your best pitch?
And he will miss in, and that was a four-seamer. So he's walked back-to-back men. Time now for a game break, brought to you by Jordan's, the furniture store of the Boston Red Sox. Here's TC. Oh, I knew you'd get that in there, the hockey reference.
Well, not only that, Lamar used to be with Minnesota. Now he's with Chicago. He bounces around. He finds his way back to the big leagues and does damage.
Which
Plays
is
for
what
the Red Sox for a little while.
Steve Pearce has that in mind right now. He has struck out twice. Good speed on the bases for the Red Sox with one down. And he goes after the first one, comes up empty.
He's really had trouble, Steve Pearce has, with that changeup. He struck out last time on it, and he gets it on the first pitch there again, and he's going for the downs here. He's way out in front of that change.
Pearce for the year hitting .390 with men in scoring position. Betts at second, Benintendi at first. One and one.
Tried it again. Another changeup. Pearce says, I'm not swinging at that back to back.
One and two. Red Sox trying to get this inning to the man in the on deck area, JD Martinez. Trailing by 2. Still only 2 Red Sox hits on the board.
If you're Pearce now, you really got to shorten down and think the other way. Put the ball and play hard somewhere with guys on base.
Well, at this point, Richards has been a lot more effective than he was when the Red Sox beat him up in April, when he allowed 5 earned runs, 8 hits in 4 1/3 innings. And now Pearce will get a time, and home plate umpire Scott Barry. And the Sox pen, it's Thornburg getting going. Betts at second, Benintendi at first. And he lets it go for a ball. 2-2. Boy, he's seeing almost nothing but changeups.
Yep. He's had success throwing that changeup, not only to the rest of the lineup, but in particular to Pearce. So I think he's going to keep throwing it until Pearce says he can hit it.
And a 2-2 from Richards. Poked the other way, foul. Next pitch will be his 90th. He's walked his first 2 men in this inning, back to back. Richards ready. Pierce is ready. They lead away in the 2-2. And he struck him out for the 3rd time tonight. He strikes him out. Well, it's been a tough night for Pierce. 2 gone.
Well, I threw him a fastball that he fouled off, and then he came in hard with a fastball. Can understand why Pierce maybe didn't think that was a strike. It felt inside, but he got the call. That's just 4-seamer. Keeping it true right on the corner.
So 2 gone, and JD Martinez now trying to salvage something in the inning. He has struck out. He's also lined to second. Top RBI man in baseball with 110. First pitch swinging, rolls it foul, strike 1.
Dave, we talked about the differences in the outfield between the Red Sox and the Marlins and where they play. Look at it. You can see where the Red Sox play. They're on the top defensively. And look how much deeper the Marlins outfielders are. You can tell just by the contrast between the 2 shots there. They're a mile back there.
Oh-1 to Martinez. Up the middle, over the bag, base hit. Mookie Betts will be in. He scores. Benintendi stops at second. JD Martinez spanks it up the middle. It's a 1-run game. And the Red Sox make him pay for walk number 1.
Dave, what's amazing to me with all the shifts that go on, most teams do not shift and put a guy up the middle against JD Martinez. That's still open for him, and he gets a ton of hits there. You see the second baseman way up the middle, but not enough. For every other play, there's almost a guy just standing right there. But for JD Martinez, that's still a good place to hit the ball, and it's another base hit.
So Raczynski will be brought in. The night is done for Richards after he got the first man out in the inning. He walked a pair, then got a big strikeout of Pierce, but Martinez went right back up the middle for RBI number 111 to score Mookie Betts, and the Red Sox are down by 1.
You had to be pretty impressed by this kid who, as we talked about a lot tonight, came out of an indie league where that is just the lowest of low baseball. Marlins scarfed him up. He stormed through their minor league system, got a chance to pitch in the big leagues this year, made his debut against the Red Sox on April 2nd. Got beat up in that one a little bit, but he had a pretty nice outing tonight.
Time now for our tools of the trade presented by Craftsman.
And it is Richards getting some strikeouts. A lot of them on that pitch right there. He gets Benny with the changeup. That's a fastball inside that freezes Pierce. That's a fastball away to JD. Changeup here. Another change. You just can see the late action on that pitch, and the fact that it's 10 miles an hour fast or slower than his fastball is a really great weapon for the kid.
Craftsman, the official tools of the Boston Red Sox. However, keep in mind the men on base right now, Benintendi and Martinez, do belong to the starter Richards. Raczynski now into the ball game.
You see that look a lot out of pitchers when they come out of a game, don't they? They sit on the bench with a blind stare. Million thoughts going through their head.
I think some of it has to be mental exhaustion too.
Sure.
So much goes into every pitch.
Tim Wallach in the forefront, hitting coach here.
Raczynski with a 3.12 ERA in 22 appearances. They signed him as a minor league free agent last November. He inherits runners at first and second with 2 away for Xander Bogaerts, who has lined out and struck out tonight. Benintendi at second, Martinez at first. Sox have pulled within 1. Attacking right away, got a pitch to hit. He fouled it away, strike 1. Red Sox go to Chicago tonight. They open a 4-game series with the White Sox, who right now have a 3-0 lead on the Yankees in the Bronx in the 5th inning. Rick Porcello going in game 1 on Thursday night.
Well, the White Sox have played the Yankees very tough.
They really have. Ground ball to shortstop. Riddle's got that, and a second to the force to retire the side. Red Sox settle for the 1. It's 4-3 Miami. Tick is shortened to 3 innings tonight because he was hit by a wicked line drive off of his left wrist. Left the game because of a contusion, and that is all we have so far. More examinations were to follow.
Well, certainly we hope that's a minor issue. But bottom line, that could have been way worse. Maybe if it missed his wrist, that thing was headed right at his head.
He's really been hit by some wicked line drives this season.
This thing's hard to watch, really. I mean, it gets back at him so quickly. He's just throwing up some defense. Oh. Right? I mean, if that doesn't hit him in the wrist, doesn't it hit him right in the face?
Give him a lot of credit for getting over there and making sure he got the out. That was the last play of the game for him. Isaac Galloway, the batter. He has struck out twice. Just beginning the 7th inning. 4-3 Miami. Ortega on deck. And foul away. Red Sox have not been able to do much offensively.
And when you're talking Price, you talk about a guy who has been on a roll. Goodness. Not something anybody wants to see right now.
The Red Sox are 16-2 in his last 18 starts. 8-0 in the last 8. Velasquez with a 2-2. Saw Leon try to pull that one back a little bit, but Scott Barry said no. 3-2.
Go right back out in that same area. No.
Walked him.
Well, don't miss WB Mason Extra Innings live right after the game. TC and Wake are going to break it down for you. And you'll hear from David Price and Alex Cora. Hoop at WB Mason, celebrating over 20 years of same-day delivery.
The Red Sox pitchers have hit a couple of batters, but that's the first walk issued by Boston.
And they might see some stirring in the bullpen after that too. You don't want to be walking leadoff guys late in the game. It's a 7th here.
Ortega 1 for 3 with a base hit. It is Thornburg working in the pen. He's been up a couple of times now.
The Red Sox are able to find a way to take a lead in this game. Alex Cora said he would not shy away from Craig Kimbrell after throwing out 28 pitches in last night's game.
I know Craig Kimbrell would love to get back in there. No question about that. Even though he was charged with his 5th blown save, was credited with the win. 1-1 the count. Well, there are a lot of guys on this ball club who will say exactly what needs to be said. I thought Craig Kimbrell was one of them after last night's game. Even though Red Sox won the game, he was very disappointed with the bullpen performance. First of all, himself. And he pointed the finger at the pen and said, look, we've got to be better if this club is going to make a run. And he said, I have no doubt this club has the ability to win the World Series. The bullpen has to be better. We've got to find the answers right now for what is troubling not everybody in that bullpen, by the way. There are guys like Ryan Brazier throwing the heck out of it, and Joe Kelly and some other guys who are really pitching very well.
But you need a lot of them.
You do.
We heard that same tune 4 days ago when Rick Porcello came out of his start. Didn't like the way he threw the ball, didn't like the way the team played.
One of the things you admire about, what Porcello did and what Kimbrell did, I thought last night, is they start with themselves and their own performance in that particular game.
Stand-up guys.
Alex Cora talked about this, a couple of months ago. He said, I know whatever the record is, whatever it was then, it was off the charts, of course. Red Sox were just steamrolling everybody. He said it then. He said, it's not going to be this way all season long. There are going to be times when we're all going to be looking at each other like, okay, what happened?
As long as you continue to win enough games and you keep your lead, going through a period like this isn't necessarily a bad thing. It teaches you how to deal with that adversity when it comes. You don't want to come in the playoffs, Get through this, learn from it a little bit, come back out of it stronger.
I get what you're saying. I know that's one theory. Experience some tough times, it helps you later. Here's the 3-1 pitch. Ortega stings that one into right field, down for a base hit. Rounding second, but pausing there. The dive back in. And safely back is Galloway. So a little trouble here for Velasquez, and here comes the manager. First and second. And nobody out for Anderson. And it will be Thornburg coming on to replace Hector Velasquez, who leaves behind a couple of base runners. Let's toss it down to Guerin.
Thanks, OB. Well, Steve, as you guys have mentioned, last night was a tough night for the bullpen and a tough night for Craig Kimbrell. Before the game, Alex Cora talked about Kimbrell's location and what he's been working on.
He's okay physically. Actually, if you start looking at the velocity is there. I think everything is location-wise. I mentioned a few weeks ago that it seems like the breaking ball is either, they see it right away for some reason. There was one yesterday, Sierra, he swung and missed down and in, but the other ones kind of like they saw it. And when he has velocity and he has that pitch going, then as a hitter, it's not that you pick one of them, but it's almost unhittable. But when he doesn't have the breaking ball, then you can stay on the fastball, and you saw what happened yesterday. So we need to find the breaking ball, and if it's mechanically or the release point or whatever it is, Dana and CB and Banny, they're working at it, and we know we need that breaking ball for him to be effective. As you know, nowadays, everybody's throwing 98, 99. It's the secondary pitches that make them either great or just average, and he needs his breaking ball to be great.
And guys, you have to give Kimbrel a lot of credit. After a tough outing, he is standing in the clubhouse waiting for reporters, always accountable.
Yep, always has been. And hasn't had many rough spots in the road in what has been a spectacular career.
Indeed. You don't have to stand in front of the reporters and try to explain yourself very often when you're Craig Kimbrel.
You don't. 4-1 right now, the .255 ERA and 37 saves. I don't think there's a lot of worry about Craig Kimbrel. I don't think that's what Alex Cora was communicating either. It was just, trying to tighten up that breaking ball, get it back to what he has had throughout his career. And by the way, earlier this year, did for very long stretches.
Yeah, for some reason it's been a little more predictable when he throws the breaking ball, and got to get away from that.
Well, Thornburg coming on now. He inherits first and second, nobody out, a walk and a base hit. Anderson was hit by a pitch last time he came in to score. He pops that one into right field, backing up Mookie Betts.
Let's see if they challenge him.
Galloway will take off. He will tag up. The throw will come into second base, so he will advance down to third with one away.
Thornburg spent most of this season really kind of rounding himself into shape. He's got more than 20 appearances now, and really, if you look at it over the last month or so, his numbers have come down significantly. 2.57 ERA in that period of time.
Realmuto with a base hit and a double. He's also struck out. One thing the Red Sox have not been able to get tonight is a double play ball. Would love one right here. And the first one in there for a strike. We're getting more information on David Price's injury. The X-ray on the wrist was negative. So great news there.
Yes.
Big time sigh of relief. I'm sure beginning with David Price first and foremost, and that one is inside a ball. 1-1. We're also being told further testing is needed. First and third, one out, a one-run game in the seventh inning. Another threat by the Marlins.
Dave, what do you think that would be if you do the X-ray and you think, okay, maybe there's no break or anything? Do an MRI as well to see if there's anything else going on in there after a shot like that?
Soft tissue or something, maybe. Keep an eye on the swelling and treat that, I'm sure, like crazy. Red Sox have a phenomenal medical staff. Little tapper, Xander Bogaerts looking at second, fires on to first in time to get the out as a run comes in.
Woo.
Galloway scoring. That'll make it 5-3 Miami.
Sunday evening after Red Sox coverage, tune in to the Ultimate Red Sox Show presented by Sam Adams. Get the highlights and a complete recap of the past week of Red Sox baseball. That's Sunday after Red Sox coverage right here on NESN. Sponsored by Samuel Adams.
Well, charge that run to Velasquez. 5-3 the Marlins, and here comes Castro. Has been trouble tonight, as he was last night with a pair of RBI singles in this one. And a stop by Leon, no advance by the runner.
That was almost the ground ball double play ball that you were looking for there, Dave, by Realmuto, but wasn't hit hard enough for anybody to be able to turn it. Bogey looked at second, decided to take the out at first.
Breaking ball in, a called strike at 77.
Just a big bouncer. Watch Bogey look at second to think maybe I can get that out. He decided no. Just had enough time to get the out at first.
Taking the base runner, the 2-1 line shot on the move. Jackie Bradley, he runs it down into the alley to retire the side. A run in, 5-3 Miami.
'19 season are now on sale. New plans will include access to potential 2018 postseason games. For more information, go to redsox.com/season tickets.
Bottom 7, and Nunez leading it off. Up the middle he goes for his second hit, picking on that first pitch.
He's on fire now. One of the few Red Sox.
Time for a high-strength steel play brought to you by New England Chevy dealers and the Chevy Silverado. His homer in the second.
And there it is. Another home run in as many nights. He picks one out and heads down that left field line again. Wow. He's starting to swing it, isn't he?
2 for 3 tonight. Kinsler has lined out twice, once to the right fielder and once to the shortstop. Sox now 4 hits. Richinski out of their bullpen into his second inning.
Just never sounds right when you're in the 7th inning and you say the Red Sox have 4 hits.
White Sox leading 3-1 over the Yankees. They're in the 6th inning, just starting the 6th. Two 2-0. Conley, the left-hander, and Steckenrider, the right-hander, working in their pen. And Ryan Brazier, who was not available last night to work because of a sore foot, ready to go tonight. Fly ball left field. That one headed for the monster. Off the wall. It'll be Nunez into third, and a double for Kinsler. And the Sox have 2 men in scoring position, nobody out.
This is a pretty simple play for the Red Sox. You know they're going to end up on second and third. Kinsler's going to hit it high up off the green, but Austin Dean's a little confused when he gets the ball where he wants to throw it. Not going to go to third. He's in easy. Now he looked over at second. He's not going to get him, and then he just kind of tossed it into the infield.
Blake Swihart is going to bat now for Sandy Leon. So Coro will go to the bench and bring up a pinch hitter.
Wow, how quickly the Red Sox offense can strike and have 2 guys in scoring position to potentially tie this game up.
And Blake will take over behind the plate as well. Sandy was 0 for 2.
You mentioned in his last at bat, Sandy going through a little bit of a tough period right now as well.
Yeah, 5 for his last 41. And Mattingly coming out as well from their dugout.
Do Red Sox fans actually feel good when they boo Don Mattingly when he comes out? Such a great player. I know he was a Yankee. We get it. What a tremendous player he was, though.
We will take the break here as well. They will go back to the pen. But the Red Sox closing in, second and third, nobody out. Conley coming in. Franklin Sports, the official batting glove of Major League Baseball and the Red Sox. Your local New England Ford dealers. Digital Federal Credit Union. What can DCU save you? Your New England Audi dealers. Get behind the wheel of the Audi you've always wanted. William Ravis, the official real estate company of the Red Sox. And by Southwest Airlines. Low fares, no hidden fees. That's transparency. Conley delivering a strike on Blake Swihart, who will bat right-handed here against the lefty.
Good move by Mattingly. He sees Swihart go to the other side of the plate where he's just a 140 hitter right-handed. And then he gets Jackie Bradley Jr. next.
And quickly 0-2.
Conley most likely will be in just for the 2 hitters.
Blake has driven in game-winning runs in 2 of the last 3 Red Sox wins. He socks that one into left field, a base hit. In to score Nunez. Into third base Kinsler as the throw comes back to the infield. Swihart with 2 strikes on him tears into a base hit to make it a 1-run game.
We've seen that a few times in tonight's ball game where 0-2 pitches are very, very hittable. Swihart says you can forget about my 6 for 43. That's a changeup that hangs right out over the middle. Swihart maybe a tad out in front because it's off speed. Keeps those hands back and rips it into left.
You know, you go back to the 26th of June. He's about a 300 hitter since then.
Yeah.
He's been making very good contact.
He had an 11-game hit streak there for a while.
So they're on the corners, 5-4. And Jackie Bradley to take on the left-hander. He's got 0 for 2 tonight. Oh, he went for the downs on that swing. 0-1. Kinsler representing the tying run at third. And Mookie Betts on deck. There's a shot to left center field. Galloway going back, turning on it now. It's off the green. Kinsler is in. Swihart rumbles down to third, and he stops there. Jackie Bradley with a double has tied the game. We are even at 5-5. Jackie taking aim at the monster and rips himself a double.
So many good things happened on that play. Not only just a bullet by Jackie Bradley off the wall. What a great read by Blake Swihart on the bases. No hesitation, ran all the way around second. Watch Swihart running from first to second. No hesitation, keeps going. He knows that's off the wall. There's nobody out. That's the only reason why Carlos Fabeles is holding him up right there. Had there been an out, Swihart would have tried to score on that play, and he probably would have made it. That's excellent base running on a bullet by Jackie Bradley.
Nobody out, and Betts coming up.
Yes. Not going anywhere. You hold right up here at third.
His 26th double. And Mookie looking at a strike. So they keep the lefty in against him.
And how you're not walking him?
Base open.
How do you not walk Mookie to get to the next left-hander?
Nobody out. And the Red Sox have rallied to tie it 5-5. Mookie with a home run in the third inning. He also walked and scored. There's a drive. That's headed for the alley. Nobody out there. That skips against the fence. Swihart is in. Bradley is in. Mookie Betts.
How do you not walk the MVP of the American League in that situation?
I don't have an answer.
I looked like another change up there, just kind of headed towards the outside. He's a guy that does not get fooled by off-speed pitches. Hits a bullet into the opposite field gap. Goodness, the Red Sox can put it on you in a heartbeat.
That is 5 consecutive hits. Benintendi dropping down a bunt. Conley took a look. Betts will be safe at third. And Benintendi on the sacrifice out at first base.
And good for Benny. This team doesn't play small ball very often. He's up against a tough lefty, drops down a bunt, gets Mookie to third base, and a potential insurance run later on.
And now Mattingly is coming out. And we'll bring in a right-hander with Pearson, Martinez, and Bogarts coming up. Mookie Betts. Another one for the resume there, as he ripped himself a 2-run double. And the Red Sox lead it 7-5. runs on the board to surge in front of the Marlins of Don Mattingly. 7-5. Infield is in. Brock Holt is going to hit for Steve Pearce. And Mookie Betts scooting on back to third base. And if the Marlins go on to lose this game, I think a lot of questions will be aimed at the manager of the Miami Ball Club.
He might have a reason that we didn't think about, but base open with one of the best players in the game, you put him on.
Yeah, I don't think that is so much about how effective or ineffective Conley might be against lefties. His numbers are just about even, lefty and righty. It's about the guy coming up, Mookie Betts.
Conley's pretty effective against everybody, under 200 against lefties or righties, but we're talking about Mookie Betts.
Infield in.
I love this situation for Brock Holt. There's not a guy in the world that'll tell you he loves to pinch hit. They like to be in the game. It isn't an easy job. And this guy gives you a professional at bat every time, and I love it when there's a guy out there with a chance to drive him in.
Fouled away. Second rider on now with one out. Well, the rally began by the guy who's probably the hottest hitter right now for the Red Sox outside of JD Martinez, and that's Eduardo Nunez with a base hit. Kinsler with a double off the wall. Swihart had a huge hit as he hit for Sandy Leon with 2 strikes. He ripped the base hit. Yep. Jackie Bradley with an RBI double, and then Mookie Betts with the 2-run double. Moments ago, a sac bunt by Benintendi to move Mookie down to third. With one down, here's the 1-2.
Swihart was almost in one of those situations where they walk the guy in front of you to get to you. He said, I'm going to turn you around right-handed because I know you can't hit as well right-handed. I know you're a good lefty. Go ahead and try to get a hit right-handed. And he went up there and did it.
2-2. Yankees are down. That game has now gone to the 7th inning, 3-1.
No.
Did not go. So full count.
Not close. He's a tough out.
Yeah, last one was 97. He spoiled it. JD Martinez waiting on deck. Line drive down the line. Another run in. Mookie Betts will score. Holt taking off for second. Holt's taking off for third. And he's going to be in there with a stand-up triple. Red Sox on top 8-5.
I tell you what, I love Brock Holt in that situation. He gives you in that bat. He's tough. You cannot look at Brock Holt's overall numbers and understand the kind of player he is, especially when you bring him up in this situation. There's a guy on third base. He's going to drive him in. This one gets all the way down the line. They're not playing him to pull. It gets hung up in the fence. And then when Brock Holt gets to third, he's a way better dancer than G-Man Choi, I can tell you that, of the Tampa Bay Rays.
JD Martinez will be walked intentionally. Knows that a pretty good inning. Alex Cora.
Yeah.
Brought Swihart up to hit for Leon. He had an RBI hit. Brock Holt to hit for Pierce. RBI triple. Manager can go several weeks without having an inning like that, or months in some cases.
And he doesn't usually have to use his bench that much. He's used it to perfection tonight.
Red Sox with a 5-run 7th inning to turn the game around and lead it 8-5.
Throw a wipeout inning on you in the 7th when it was looking a tad bleak.
Xander 0 for 3 tonight. Red Sox trying to sweep this quick series and sweep the season series from Miami. Bogart's the 9th man to hit in this inning. Ryan Lamar just did a solo home run for Chicago. White Sox lead at 4-1.
Ryan Lamar doing it all. TC is going to be happy in the studio. He's going to want to do another game break with Ryan Lamar.
Line drive and a base hit to left. Here comes Brock Holt to score. And the Red Sox breaking away now 9-5. Bogarts with his 86th RBI. And the beat goes on for Boston.
Starting to wake it up now. 9 hits on the night as well. Earlier on, there was only 3 or 4 hits in this ball game. They've turned it around.
The Red Sox are going to bat around. Nunez, the man who launched it, will hit against the new guy from the bullpen. It'll be Guerra. And Steckenrider headed for the showers. Well, it's kind of onslaught we saw over and over again all season long. We hadn't seen it much lately. But it feels like the Red Sox are locking back in their offense here tonight.
And it happened late.
Yes, here in the 7th inning. Let's get out to Guerin.
OB Steve, is there anything that Mookie Betts can't do? I mean, any ballpark that he goes to, the fans start chanting MVP. We've seen what he can do in the bowling alley, and we have all seen him crush a Rubik's Cube. So tonight, the giveaway, this Mookie Cube. Now, I have destroyed mine. There is no chance that this is ever going to be put back together.
Hey, just a few quick flips of the wrist.
I don't know how he does it, but these are the giveaways tonight, so you can see a lot of fans have been enjoying these, and I don't know, I'm going to be working on mine for a long time because there's no chance this is ever going to be put back together again. Maybe Mookie can help me with that. I don't know.
Oh, I bet he could. I bet he could. I have it on good authority that Mookie and 3 other Red Sox went down and played some golf the other day in the off day in Nantucket. Of course, he had the low score of the group.
Yeah. I saw him with his clubs the other day. I asked him what he shoots, and he goes, 80 sometimes, 90 sometimes. I never practiced. I'm like, 80, come on. 80 is a pretty good score for a guy who never picks up a club.
This was a couple years ago, but this was like under 2 minutes he was able to ace this Rubik's Cube. So pretty good at baseball, too. And the bowling. What is he up to now? 10 or 11
10 or 11,
games,
yeah.
something like that? Unreal. Well, he's had a huge hit in this inning. A lot of Red Sox have. And that includes this man, Eduardo Nunez, who got it going with a base hit. Javi Guerra out of their pen. 24th appearance, a 4.81 ERA. He will inherit first and second. There's still only 1 out in the inning. Red Sox have poured across 6 runs.
Merry-go-round all of a sudden.
Done it on 7 hits. Most of them for extra bases, too.
And that's the thing, coming into this inning, only 3 hits on the night. 2 of them went out of the ballpark.
The Red Sox deep inside their bullpen. Feels like 2 different games, too. When Richards was in the game and working that changeup magic for several innings, Red Sox couldn't do a whole lot against him. Then they started to reach him, and now they're running wild against the bullpen.
It's kind of funny the way the game is now. Alex Cora talked about it before the game. Every guy out of everybody's bullpen comes in throwing 98. Well, guess what? The Red Sox can turn around 98. Sometimes it's that soft stuff that gives them trouble, and Richards showed that tonight.
Yeah, at least for a while. One and two.
The Red Sox have won 21 of their last 25 interleague games. It's an astounding record in interleague play.
First and second. Here's the 1-2. Even up on Eduardo Nunez, who is 1 for 2 against this pitcher in his career.
Javi Guerra Started his major league career in the Dodgers organization when Don Mattingly was the manager of that team. That's how he knows Guerra.
Two up the middle. That's his second hit of the inning. Martinez rounding hard. The throw trickles in, cut off. Another run scores. And the Red Sox have hit 10. Nunez with his third hit tonight. And again, his second of the inning. It's now a 7-run seventh.
That hit streak just keeps going for Nooney. Watch at the end of this play when the ball comes in. JD's going to come around and score. Bogey's at second base. Watch where the throw goes. Right through Bogey's legs. And he stayed right on that. Nooney saying everybody score when I hit.
JD Martinez with his 99th run of the season. Kinsler fouls it away. He has a double in this inning. And the Red Sox have doubled up Miami. Ten runs on 11 hits. Boy, for the longest time, the Red Sox only had a handful of hits tonight. And now they've got a bunch.
3 going into the inning.
And another one to right field. Bogarts to third. Hits it hard. He's trying to score. The throw up the line. He does score. Ian Kinsler with his second hit of the inning. The 9th hit of the frame for the Red Sox.
Dave, without looking at your scorecard, can you remember the out that was made?
No.
I wouldn't doubt it if you could. It was a sacrifice bunt by Benny. Remember that? Oh my gosh, that's the only. They gave it to him.
Ian Kinsler, a double and a single in this inning. First and second, only one gone. 8 runs in here in the 7th. And I know a lot of fans who are watching around New England and frankly around the country and around the world. They're saying the same thing. Well, this is more like it.
Yes, yes, it is. Forget about all the hits in the inning. 7 Red Sox players have an RBI in this inning.
Red Sox have 9 hits in the inning.
Oh.
And that one scored. That's fair. Make it 10. Swihart again. Nunez rounding. It's bobbled out there. Here comes Kinsler. He's going to score 2. All the way down to third. Blake Swihart. Well, this is like opening the floodgates. And the Red Sox lead 13-5.
Yeah, at this point, I'll tell you what, the Marlins are saying, make the bad man go away. Just every guy that steps up there is hammering a ball. This ball smoked down the line, barely stays fair. Trouble picking it up out there in the outfield. Ortega threw it the wrong direction.
Garrett can't believe it. It's a double and an error charged to the right fielder. Swihart winds up at third. Infield coming in. Jackie Bradley the batter, and the Marlins are wondering if it will ever end. The Red Sox have scored 10 times. Here's the 0-1.
Swihart wasn't even in this game before this inning started. Now he's got 2 hits and an RBI. So your defensive alignment there. Everybody in.
And the 0-2 downstairs. This is a season high for hits in an inning and runs in an inning for the Red Sox. 10 in each case.
Gosh, I hope so. I always say if you get 10 hits, you should win. I didn't know they were all going to come in one inning.
Overall, 13 runs, 13 hits, and the 1-2. Time to see who's been driving the ball, presented by Toyo Tires. Jackie Bradley Over his last 16 games, now hitting .357 with 8 RBIs. Toyo Tire is the official tire of the Boston Red Sox. Swihart at third. And it has been a merry-go-round here at Fenway Park tonight in this 7th inning. Mookie Betts waiting on deck. He's part of that 10 with a 2-run double.
Look at how fresh and new that is. They don't get to use that one very often,
No,
do they?
don't.
It's brand new. It's been sitting out there for 75 years, but
looks freshly painted.
they scrambled around for 5 minutes to find the thing.
The Red Sox have exploded here tonight. And a blooper foul out of play. So we thought that, the bullpen would have to be really worn out tonight, maybe, after David Price was hit by that line drive off the left wrist in that 3rd inning. But the offense has shown up in a huge way to help out. 3-2. Line drive, base hit the other way. Swihart will score. Jackie Bradley with his 2nd hit of the inning. The Red Sox keep on adding on. Now 14-5. That one is even newer, I think.
Oh, man, there is not a blemish. No rust. Yeah, that might be painting them back there as we go. They're back there painting a 12 right now.
Man. Mookie Betts next. Mookie in this one with a home run, a walk, and a 2-run double. And in this inning, driving in a pair. 11 runs, 11 hits, and still only 1 man out here in the 7th. And meanwhile, Chicago's still leading the Yankees 4-1 7th inning in the Bronx. I think the other thing about this inning is how many absolute shots there have been.
Except that one.
Except for that one. That's a dying quail, but it falls in anyway. And Jackie Bradley down to third. Everything's falling in for the Red Sox.
Uncle. That guy's so good he can't even mess up an at bat.
His 3rd hit tonight.
And once again, we talked about it last night. He was on base 4 times last night, 4 times tonight. Wants to check this swing. Still drops in there. And I'll tell you what, I think Mookie Betts is kind of trying to play some respectful baseball. Mookie could have gone to second on that. Could have been a double. But he was like, all right.
And now the only man who has made an out in the inning, and it was on a sacrifice bunt, Andrew Benintendi. That was a long time ago when the game was still fairly tight, but the Red Sox have blown it open with their biggest inning of the season. Chopped up the middle. He'll go for the tag, and now on to first base, and he got him.
Benny made all 3 outs of the inning.
How about that double play to retire the side? But the Red Sox, the season high 11 runs, 12 hits. Listen to the crowd here at Fenway. Toyota's official website for deals. BuyAToyota.com. By Geico, 15 minutes could save you 15% on car insurance. Operation Finale in theaters now. And by Southwest Airlines, low fares, no hidden fees. That's transparency. Derek Dietrich with a mile-high fly, but not all that deep to right field. Mookie Betts under to put that away. One away in the 8th inning. Brock Holt will take over at first base. Blake Swihart is the new catcher. And Ryan Brazier now on the hill, inheriting a 14-5 lead. The Red Sox with a spectacular display of offense to the tune of 11 runs on 12 hits. 5 different Red Sox players, Steve, had 2 hits in the inning.
Seemed like everybody drove one in.
Goodness. Here's Dean looking at a strike.
Dave, I think everyone would agree if you bat around your order, you had a successful inning. You certainly have scored some runs. You did some damage. Have you ever seen them bat around twice? They were like 4 hitters away from doing that.
Amazing. And so many hard hit shots too. Fouled away.
Yeah, there were no cheapies. Except for Mookie's.
Little check swing.
But he's not that good. So
no, he gets fooled and he dunks in a base hit.
It's his typical.
His 3rd hit of the night. Oh, by the way, he's now a triple shy of the cycle. Of course, he's already hit for the cycle this season. Just keep that in mind. Red Sox with 15 hits altogether. And a 1-2 from Brazier.
'98.
Brett Graves loosening in their bullpen. We are in the 8th inning. And a 2-2 pitch.
Yeah, that thing that we mentioned about Mookie Betts earlier, with all the runs that have scored, Mookie's the only guy that scored 3, and that's what's most important to him. Bunch of guys have scored 2.
So he now has 108, and that draws him even with the league lead in runs scored. Remember, he missed about 14 games. Dean has gone 0 for 3. And Brazier looking for the K.
Brazier's not really trying to fool too many people. Rear back and let it rip.
Well, he was the big story last night. Big story tonight's going to be the exploding offense for the Red Sox with an 11-run 7th inning. Biggest of the year. Kinsler part of that with 2 hits. Nunez has had a huge night again. A home run, 2 base hits in the inning. Xander Bogaerts, an RBI in the frame. On and on it goes. To right field, well hit. Betts back, and that ball gets out. Home run to right. Dean with just his 3rd of the season. That'll make it 14-6.
For a team that doesn't hit very many home runs, they certainly drive the ball the other way nicely. Castro hit a ball out of here the other way last night. Watch this ball. This ball's up in the zone, but it's away. Dean just drives it out of here. Mookie got an outstanding jump. He just ran out of real estate.
Well, he came in with anything but a home run hitting team reputation, but they have hit 5 in 2 nights at Fenway, and that's in for a strike on Rojas. who's gone 0 for 3.
If you come into Fenway in 2 games and hit 5 home runs, your chances of winning those games are pretty good. They're not going to get either of them.
And the 0-1 pitch. Popped up. Brock Holt looking for room over near that camera well. He's there to make the play. 2 gone. And JT Riddle due up next. He's 1 for 3 tonight. Well, it's a ball game that began on a downturn for everybody because David Price was struck by a line drive off the wrist. And I think that might have shocked the Red Sox for several innings. And certainly you have to tip your cap to Richards how he pitched early. But then he started to walk a couple of guys. He gave up a base hit. His manager got him out of the ball game and had to turn it over to the bullpen, which has been knocked around like mad. Fly ball to center field by Riddle. Jackie Bradley plenty of time back there. He's got it to retire the side. 14-6 Red Sox. Continuing to lead the division. NESN ratings have been very, very high. Another factor in our strong ratings is NESN availability. And as you can see, there are more ways than ever to get NESN. To see a complete list of where to get NESN, check out getnesn.com.
You know, Dave, there's so many options out there when it comes to picking a TV provider. It gets kind of confusing for me. You got it handled?
I do.
All
sure.
right.
All locked in.
I'm going to have to check into NESN then.
Nice job reading that copy, too. Bottom of the 8th inning.
Almost was natural.
14-6, the Red Sox with a commanding lead. And Brock Holt had a hand in it with an RBI triple in the 7th inning, coming off the bench. Holiday taking over behind the plate. Graves is the new hurler.
Cannot believe when you went into the 7th inning, this team had 3 hits.
And now 15. JD Martinez on deck. Next run he scores will be his 100th of the season. He's driven in his 111th run, tagged up the middle, and here come the hits again. Brock Holt 2 for 2 coming off the bench in the last 2 innings.
Tomorrow at 7:30, don't miss Red Sox Game Day Live, presented by DCU. TC and Wake will preview the Red Sox next series against the White Sox. DCU, Digital Federal Credit Union. What can DCU save you?
JD an RBI single tonight. He's also walked and scored a run, 1 for 3. Pomeranz in the pen.
Both Swihart and Holt didn't start this game, and both came in and got 2 hits. That's a good day.
Boy, it sure is. As a team, the Sox were 16.
You know, if someone says to you, hey, did you start yesterday's game? And you say no. The next question is, and it never is, did you get 2 hits? Alex Cora used his bench to perfection in this one to build that lead.
Oh, he had a big 7th inning.
Those were crucial at bats at the time.
You know what was great to see during the rally, David Price, who took that nasty shot off the wrist, he came out to cheer on his teammates, 1 run after another.
He has to do everything right-handed now.
Yeah, wearing a brace on that wrist. But again, the X-rays were negative. Red Sox calling it a left wrist contusion right now. Well, they're now in the 8th inning in New York. The White Sox still leading the Yankees 4-1. We'll keep you posted on that one. And a 2-2. Not tempting enough.
You know, TC's in the studio just chomping at the bit to give a Ryan Lamar home run game break. His favorite hockey player.
And can now.
He probably can. Someone should be putting that together.
Roll to Castro to Riddle. That's 1 on to first and a double play. So 2 gone. Our game summary now brought to you by Xfinity. Well, you're looking at that and you're saying, if you missed it, how did I miss 11 runs, 12 hits in the 7th inning? But if you saw that, it was something to see. Mookie Betts is 3 for 4, double a home run. And the Red Sox rocking and rolling with their best offensive inning of 2018. That's saying a lot, the way the Red Sox have scored. 2 down, bases clean for Xander Bogaerts. Xander had an RBI single in the 7th inning. $14 runs, 16 hits for the Red Sox, no errors. For Miami, 6 runs on 9 hits and an error. Red Sox looking for the mini sweep and also looking to take a 7.5 game lead with them to Chicago and Atlanta for the 7-game trip about to begin tomorrow. See how it plays out the rest of the night
against a Chicago team that's playing good baseball and an Atlanta team that's just flat out a good club.
You know, when the Red Sox come back from that road trip, it'll be a week into September, and they'll be taking on the Houston Astros, a long homestand, in fact, against Houston, Toronto, and the New York Mets. But it'll be September 7 when they get back after that trip. Line drive and caught by Castro to retire the side. That is all for 8 innings. Red Sox on top 14-6. Furniture, get up to 72 months no interest with equal payments and no minimum on anything you buy in the store. From furniture to mattresses, hurry in. It's a limited time offer. Ninth inning coming up. Red Sox up big 14-6, looking to sweep the season series from the Marlins. Drew Pomerantz will toe the slab here for the ninth inning. He'll get 9, 1, and 2 in their batting order. Red Sox scored 1 run in the second, 1 run in the third, 1 run in the sixth, and 11 in the seventh. Galloway's gone 0 for 2 with a walk and a run.
Tomorrow at 7, don't miss Red Sox first pitch presented by Joseph Abboud, available at Men's Warehouse. TC and Wake will give you an update on David Price's injury.
One, two, down and in at the feet. Ortega on deck. So Red Sox heading for Chicago, South Side, and 4 games with the White Sox beginning tomorrow night. At 8:10, Rick Porcello goes in 15-7. Rick trying to bounce back from his start at Tampa Bay. Evaldi going on Friday night. Eduardo Rodriguez comes back to the rotation after that sprained ankle on Saturday, which is September 1st. And then Sunday, Brian Johnson, a 2-2. No way of knowing right now when David Price will make his next start after taking that shot off the wrist here tonight. But it was good to see him with a smile on his face, even though he was wearing a brace on that thing during the rally.
That rally would make a lot of people smile.
Yeah. 11 runs on 12 hits in 1 inning. Impressive. Here's the 3-2.
A lot of people talk about wipeout innings like we did, and I said, well, here's your wipeout inning. That was when they had 5 runs. People talk about a picket fence. You're not going to beat anybody if you just put 1 up here, 1 up here, 1 up here. But when there's 2 1s in the 1 inning, and that become 11, it's a pretty impressive picket fence.
(3-2) fouled back. Now Pomerantz looking for the first out of the 9th inning. And the left-hander's 3-2 again. And he walks him. After the game, stay tuned for Red Sox Final, presented by Rodenheiser Plumbing, Heating, AC, and Electric. TC and Wake highlighted Eduardo Nunez on the Rodenheiser heat zone is hot. JT Riddle is cold. Here's how they've done tonight. Nunez is cooking.
Oh, just keeps getting better now too. Comfortable, healthy, playing the heck out of third base.
Now a 7-game hitting streak. Ortega with a couple of hits tonight. He's gone 2 for 4 and eyes a strike. And a 1-2. He swings and misses, and he puts him away. Ortega fans, one gone.
Nothing too fancy. This is Pomeranz just going right at you, as he should be at this point in the game.
The Red Sox also had the last 11-run inning against the Marlins in Marlins history. It was in 2003. Final score of that game was 25-8. Remember that?
No.
After that, the Marlins didn't lose very much. They went on to win it all.
That's right.
I don't think that's going to happen this year. Ground ball to Bogarts, feeding Kinsler, got it out there on the first, double play. Well, this was some display here tonight by the Boston Red Sox. They win it by a final of 14-6, but they score 11 times TC in that 7th inning, a season high, and they wind up sweeping the Marlins in the season series. Now it is off to Chicago.